Hi guys, welcome back to Life of Leisure. Here I am on the road again.
What did I say about singing?
Well, can I whistle?
No. Well, can I hum it? All right.
So we're back at it. We're back building again. I do humbly impale myself before you for not getting a video out for a little while. Unfortunately, it's just been a little bit manic in the Enigma world. So what we've got coming up on this video, basically we've been cracking on with getting the floor levelled in what's going to be Sweeney Todd's pie shop, and also we've been levelling out the corridor a bit more because, let's be honest, it were a little bit all over the place. It were like a dog's ear, and been making a mysterious hole in the wall. So all that's to look forward to, and I shall catch you down the road. Right, so let's get into it. Well, anybody who knows me knows that I love that warm feeling of getting wood in the morning. And here we are, straight at it again. God bless this young man for bringing me wood. I'll be honest with everybody. I'd totally forgotten that it was getting delivered that day. So a nice surprise. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a long time. I haven't spoken to anybody for a while. Just basically been keeping his head down, cracking on at Enigma. Been all over the place: Doncaster, Pontefract, Hull, Watford, Retford, quite a bit. Seeing the guys down there, the Dukeses. Right, so here we are. First off, what I'm actually starting to do here is I'm starting to make, basically like a display counter for inside of Sweeney's Pie Shop. It's just the starting of it, just getting the ends of the carcass together. I thought I might as well crack on while I had a bit of time. Also, while I think on, thanks to everybody who's been sending us messages and stuff. While we've been not posting many videos, so thank you very much to everybody for keeping in touch and keeping chatting and keeping asking questions. I'll always try and respond to all of them best I can and try and answer them best I can. All I keep saying to everybody is just remember, I ain't got a clue what I'm doing. I'm not a wood butcher by trade. I'm a bit of a have-a-go hero, so I shall answer them best I can. So what I'm actually doing is I'm making the pie shop serving counter. It's the ends of it is, and pretty much every bit of it that you'll be able to see is going to be made out of MDF. The reason that I'm making it out of MDF is just because it paints up really nice. It's a good feel to it, and also I can get the edges all routed up and looking nice and everything. So that's why I'm doing it out of MDF. That's one of the questions that I get quite a bit. Why do we use so many different materials? It's pretty much I use what I think is going to be best for the job that I'm actually doing. Okay, so for something like the pie shop counter that everybody's going to be very up close with, touching, running their hands across, I want it to be nice and smooth. I want it to look good as well, and have a good hardy finish to it. If it was a case of I was going for something for strength, I'd be looking more at ply or something like that. With this, it doesn't need to be crazy strong. The bits that you won't be able to see will be the bits that give it more strength. So it's going to have more of a framework inside, and parts that are going to be screwed together will have like ply strips and things like that to give us something more to screw into. And it'll also have some 2x2 like a skeleton inside it, because I'm going to be putting the top of it is going to have like a glass section or what looks like a glass section, but it'll be some sort of acrylic so that it don't break, obviously. But that'll be the top section, the bit that's actually going to be slanted. But underneath that, there's going to be 3 cupboards that are either mag-locked shut or padlocked shut. So yeah, there's going to be a variety of padlocks and maglocks in this game, as I'm sure everybody's going to be aware. And I'm trying to keep the actual game spoilers, as in the puzzles and things like that, to a minimum for everybody. Yes, obviously there's huge spoilers on what's the look of the room, or where is there multiple rooms, and is there hidden entrances and exits and things like that. Yes, they're obviously the big spoilers. But as far as the actual game itself and the puzzles, yeah, unfortunately, that's another question that I get asked. I'm not going to be sharing those. So, moving on to the floor. Right, another question that I had was what's happening with the flooring in the pie shop. We seemed to have carpet tiles down, and as you can see, I'm filling in the gaps where the carpet tiles used to be. So all I'm doing is I'm using carpet tiles as like a cushion, as an underlay, whatever you want to call it, for a vinyl floor, which I think it's going to be a vinyl floor. I haven't finished looking at the different types of flooring that I want to do in there, but I think it's going to be a vinyl floor that's either going to look like wood or it's going to look like a tile. But if it's a tile, it needs to be something that looks old, which is the tricky bit to it. So the reason why I'm going for a vinyl in there is because they are going to be coming out of a tunnel into here, and it's just a bit more comfortable on the knees, coming out of a tunnel that is going to be cushioned. So it's going to be not a particularly hard floor for them to come out of. That's the reason why I'm doing it. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Let's find out. This is the first place that I've ever done that with some sort of carpet tiles underneath a vinyl floor. Let's see how well that works. Worst case scenario, we've got to take it up and we've got to do it again. After getting the carpet tiles down in the pie shop, I thought it was only a good idea to crack on and actually put another or put a hard layer on top of the flooring in the passageway that goes to the game. Yeah, we've filled in all the gaps. Yeah, it's solid, but it does creak a bit and everything like that. And this is definitely going to have a vinyl floor down on it. The vinyl floor that I'm putting down in the passageway is going to look like a cobbled floor. For anybody out there who doesn't know what cobbled surfaces is, it's basically what they used to put down in roads, not the country, on roads rather than tarmac or whatever. It used to be cobbled surfaces. So that's what I'm going for. I'm going for a really old look to make it look like the passage is going to look like a back passage. So you'll be entering through a back passage. There you go. Talking about choice of materials again, here we are. So basically lining the back passage floor with OSB. Reason I'm doing this is it's pretty hard wearing, it's easy to work with, and we're going to be covering it anyway, so you won't see it. So that was purely the only reasons why I went with this one. Just making sure that it is securely fastened down to get rid of some more of the creaks. Because surprisingly enough, cobbled stone floors didn't creak. And I'm also thinking about the game that we've got downstairs underneath this. So, as much as possible, we've got to try and keep that in mind. And that's another reason why I'm putting stuff underneath the like the vinyl floors to try and deaden the sound a bit more. Okay, so here we are on electrics. Now, anybody who's watched one of these before, you know what's coming next. So I am not a wood butcher. I am also not a sparky. So please, 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 don't do what I do. Okay, if you are not sure or not confident in any of these things, go talk to an expert. Talk to somebody who actually did a bit of schooling and knows what they're doing. Now, what I do myself, the same as what I've done with the lighting in the first room and so on and so forth, is I'll wire it up, and then before it goes live, I'll get my local Sparky to come out, check it all over, make sure he's happy with it, make sure it's up to regulations and all that kind of stuff before we go any further and it's buried into walls and things. So don't do what I do. What I'm actually doing is I'm extending that socket or that socket ring main, and it's going to go underneath the flooring, underneath the wall just down here. That's why I'm backing it all out eventually. Okay, and that will basically give us the sockets that we need for the power that will run the room. Now, with all our rooms, 90% of it is running on 12 volt stuff. But as we get to it in later videos, you'll understand what I'm talking about as in powering it. So here we are again, butchering a wall. Surprisingly enough, butchering walls isn't one of my favourite things. It's quite satisfying sometimes, but it's not one of my favourite things because you don't actually know how the guys that built the stud wall built it. And it's either going to be like Fort Knox or it's going to be held together with nothing more than happy thoughts. So, yeah, you've just got to make an hole and then see what's in there, basically. So that's what I was doing to start with, and then start to figure out, okay, well, we're not going to be going right up against where the other door is, because they've put a load of jacks in there and a load of like extra studding in there. This one, surprisingly enough, wasn't that bad. Wasn't too bad anyway. And it's just a case of steady away. Just get job done. Just get through it. Nice to see that they had a bit of insulation in there, a bit of sound deadening. You won't believe some of the stuff that we find in walls when we're tackling old buildings. Oh my goodness. So it's nice and steady away, really. You get one side at wall off, make a couple of marks on the other side at wall, and just crack on with it. Now, obviously, we're not going to make it too obvious that there is a big hole in the wall as people are walking down this back passage to get into the first room of the game. So that is going to be a big thing towards the end of the build as far as hiding this. There you go. So here's Johnny moment. And then it's just a case of beating the hell out of the bits of wood that we've got left in there. And the upright that I'm going to be cutting across the top will do nicely for the header that will be going into the wall to keep all that beautiful loft lagging, or sound deadening, as I suppose some people would call it. It's not. Cheap way of doing it is just use loft lagging like they have done. So that will be going across there as you see me just lining it up, going lovely jubbly. And I do enjoy a quick tidy round after I've done something big like that. So I suppose while we're at it, if anybody does have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to put something in the comments and we'll make sure that we get back to you. Or drop us an email at hello@enigmarooms.co.uk. Just on a side note, that were a terrible idea, using the leaf blower inside. I thought I'll just move it across a little bit. Yeah, that didn't go well. That literally got in everything. Vacuum, much better, as any sensible person would have realised. But anyway, never mind. So yeah, if you've got any questions or any thoughts or just any comments in any way, you know, if you want to tell us that you've played one of us games or you're coming to play one of them, that'd be great to hear. I've been surprised at how many people I've bumped into in one of us venues, and they've said that they've watched one of the videos or they've been watching it. Why am I being lazy and not doing more videos? So here you go. You can stop giving me grief in the venues now if you don't mind. That'd be lovely. Now, I'll be straight with you. I wasn't going to remove this bottom bit at first, and that's why I started cleaning round. But then I snapped out of being lazy, and I thought, I might as well crack on and get rid of it. So this is basically just the bottom of the stud wall. It's perfectly fine to remove this, as we're going to be securing it all up anyway, as I'm making all the mechanism for the hidden door and everything like that. It'll be strengthening it all up as I'm doing that. You can pretty much tell from watching that I'm starting to flag as I'm doing this. It were a bit of a long day. It were an early start and it were a long day. So I were definitely flagging by the end of it. But we've got some exciting stuff coming up. We're going to be cracking on with the actual walls in the pie shop. I'm going to be cracking on with those next, and then from there I'll be finishing off that pie counter, and then from there I'll be starting to make more and more props for going into the game itself. So that'll all be more interesting in some of the props and some of the electrics that we use for the props and the magic, I suppose you could call it. So we've got all that coming up over the next few videos. Like I said before, I am going to try and get the videos out a little bit quicker. It is a little bit reliant on what's going on in the Enigma world. So I don't always have much of a choice in it, if I'm perfectly honest. So I do apologise for how long it's taking. Well, anyway, I'll hand you back to myself. Thank you very much for watching this far. And let's see what I've got to say for myself. Alright folks, that's it for this week. Basically, we've had a decent week. We managed to get the floor covered back again in what's going to be Sweeney Todd's pie shop. We've managed to get another layer on the floor in the corridor so that it's not creaking and feeling like you're going to fall through. And last of all, we've got a mysterious hole in the wall, which who knows what that's going to be for. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and if you've got this far, do us a favour, give it a like and subscribe and a bit of a thumbs up, yeah, if you really won't mind, it helps massively. And hopefully the next video won't be as long in the making. So I'll see you all soon. Thanks very much. Bye.